said thank you to Dan so that everybody could see that I said thank you to him because it's just yeah. Yeah, funny.
Good evening and welcome. Welcome to Raconteurs News tonight, Tuesday. It's the 11th of January 2022, and I hope you've had a rather jolly goody weekend. Sorry, I'm just getting a little bit of side stuff. Anyway. Okay. Good evening to you if you're listening, wherever you're listening. If you're listening back on the replay, back in time, what's it like back there? We can't remember what it's like back then because that's then. Now, and this, when you're watching it, will be then. If you understand what I mean. So, hopefully it's got better. We know it's going to get better anyway, don't we? Of course it will. Raconteurs News is on. So, anyway, got a note lined up for you tonight. Absolutely nothing at all. So it's your input, anything at all. We're going to do something today, and then I just got waylaid with Ada shopping to every different, every single. Sorry, I'm half listening to a conversation over the room. Yeah, we ate this, so we went every other shop, so I haven't had much time. I didn't get back until late this afternoon, so I didn't put no together. And, that's just how I fucking do it, innit? I'm not going to change now. It's been 6 years. Never changed. I've never fucking ever done any fucking research on guests before. I've even known them more. I've not. I've had a look to see who they are and what they do. But then, I don't want to be influenced by what they think. Anyway, it's cool, man. It's cool. So good evening to people who are in the chat room. Daniel Fisher, good evening, man. Good evening to you, Tony Dot over there. Health Freedom UK. You know, I miss that Scottish bloke. Where's he? Is he knocking about somewhere? Yeah, I miss him. Just get him in. Let's have some crap off him. Good evening to Health Freedom UK. I do. I miss him. I do. Resi Tuber, Donna Caddy, good evening to you, and Matt as well. I will be sat next to you. So South, good evening. Resi Tuber, blah blah blah. Dinny's in there, of course. Paul Cotty as well. Hello to you, Paul. If you want to jump on, mate, I'm going to pop the thing in the chat room anyway at some point tonight. I don't know how long I'm going to do. I will try and do 2 hours, but I'm not really, going on a clean slate. I've got notes on this little whiteboard thing, which is just there, just out of shot. You can't see it. It's sort of there. There it is. There you can. I'm not going to show you more than that. But it's got notes on it, right? So what I do is I usually sort of like, what the idea is I put bullet points up there. So if I'm like thinking I ain't got no to say, I can look up there and I've got bullet points, and I've got fucking note. These are bullet points from. One of them is a bullet point from when I got Ollie Damagard on. So that's how much I use this fucking thing. I sometimes write something at the bottom. Yeah. But I sometimes, I've got a couple of bullet points I've put on there. Stuff that I'm going to talk about tonight. I've had enough from Brown today. My bowels couldn't take any more. Has he been about then? Does he do something, Brown? I didn't know. Or is he your mate? Does he live next door to you? Or have you just, is none enough for one day, for every day? Mascara Snake, good evening to you. And Principium, good evening. 2236, good evening to you. I hope you're all good and dandy and stuff. And I hope you didn't have any parties last year that are going to come out this year. Just hope you're not going to have any. I mean, this fucking ridiculous. Novak Djokovic, ridiculous story. And so easy to see how it's being manipulated. And also, this fucking back garden thing. This is what fucking does my head in. This back garden thing. They had a fucking picnic or something. Boris has had a picnic last year when he's not supposed to. When everyone's like, everyone's at home because they had to be. You didn't have to be. First fucking hell, you didn't have to be. Boris wants to have a fucking picnic. Boris just probably thought, well, fuck it. I'll have a fucking picnic. I'm fucking Prime Minister. You know, I can do what I want. Everyone else could have fucking done what they wanted. Could have had a picnic if they'd just fucking stood up. But no, and now it's like everyone's a victim. Like, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. And they're just there, they're taking piss. Of course they're taking fucking piss. They've been taking piss for years and fucking years and years and years and years and years. The other thing, I mean, this turns into a story. This is a bloke having a picnic on his back garden, right? And I know there's bigger things, and I know people will feel fucking really pissed off, but I know why they do, and I can see how it's designed to do that, right? Because the media are like shouting at Boris Johnson, are you going to resign? Are you going to resign? Why didn't they say that why did they not say that when they obviously had this footage? This has been common knowledge. They were probably, half of fucking media were probably there. So why are people so surprised? It's the media. Of course the fucking media knew. They knew. Of course they knew. You can't do you can't do anything. Boris Johnson can't have a wank without Laura's Kunnersberg fucking knowing, right? They know everything. But they decided, I don't know who's leaked it this time, but it's been fucking leaked. It's CCTV footage. And people are up in arms about it, and rightly so. But the people are up in arms about it. They needed to be up in arms about it a year ago. And just say, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I bet you're not doing it. I bet if people had said, if you took a poll of people and you said, do you think last year or whenever this shit started, if you said, do you think that the Prime Minister is going to adhere to these lockdown, these restrictions in place? 9 out of 10 people would have said, no, I don't. He fucking won't. He should do, but he fucking won't. None of them will. So I don't understand why people are so shocked. People are mad with wrong people. They should be angry with the fucking media and going into these fucking places like Kazakhstan. I mean, the Kazakhs have apparently risen up. I don't know what I've seen things on both sides. I've seen the BBC shit, which sounds like a big pile of shit to me. And I've seen stuff on the internet, stuff that different people have put together. And there's shit going down there in Kazakhstan. And it's a fucking huge place. It's and Russia will be in there. Oh, they're like fucking right up a drain pipe. Yeah. So there you go. People get what they do is they sit on this shit where we're expected. The general public feel like they're expected. I wasn't, but the general public, let's say, the majority of people felt like there was some sort of morality in them doing what they're fucking told. That's what they thought. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done it. They would have thought, There's some morality in it. Probably, I don't know how they think there's morality in it, but people have screwed up ways of fucking thinking of seeing things. How do you think people fucking sleep at night? And they need drugs, and they need to be able to reframe everything that's going on in their life. That they need to reframe it into a way that allows them to sleep. Because if they thought about things and how they were, nobody'd sleep. We'd have insomniacs all over the place. It's just a complete fucking a ball ache. But you see, we've not took control. We've externalised our power to someone else again. As a collective, I'm not talking individually. I'm not talking about you individually or anybody. But we've externalised this power, and now as power is through. How can we express our anger? Well, our anger, we can express it. How? Well, we can do it through the media. But the media are the ones that were sat on this. They've been waiting for this. They've been waiting for you to fucking for time to be right. And it's like a fucking someone's got a pie, a custard pie, and they're just about to fucking lob it in your face, and you're like, go on, fucking, and they just fucking do. But you don't know when it's coming. They knew. They knew. They knew. They knew. There's no way they couldn't have known. They decided to report it now. Why have they decided to report it now? They've decided to report it now to manipulate you. Make you think that that's important when it's not. It's trivial. It's fucking gone. It's done. We can't do about it. Boris can resign. It don't matter whether fucking Boris resigns. Another one will come up. Another one will come through. Fucking, I don't know. Some other company's fucking wank air. I don't know what will happen. It's just stupid. We're getting fucking so bogged down in the fucking sideshow that's going on that we can't see the main event right bang slap in front of us. And if we concentrated on the fucking main event, the actual fucking main event, and we confronted the media and told them, rang into media stations, said, you're talking crap. I know you probably won't be able to get on because the everything's fucking done. It's all. I remember listening to what this is I've listened to phone-ins before, and I've heard people, and I thought, look, that cunt's fucking either that cunt's been paid to phone. They've said, oh, phone this in. They've had somebody on. They know they keep hold of everyone's phone number, so they'll have somebody who's been on before about a certain issue, and then they'll get them and they'll say, look, we need you to ring them and make a point as a member of public, and it's Jeff in Kent. Oh, yes, well, I think all these fucking immigrants, I think that we should start sinking our own lorries. Let's sink the canal, our lorries. If we sink the lorry ratio of one lorry, out of every 10 gets completely sunk into the bottom, then they're not going to come, are they? Good idea, Bob. Yes, it's forward thinking. That's what we need in the Conservative Party. We could float that. Let's go and let's talk to fucking, I don't know, Michael, come on his fucking chin. They just fucking do it. He's just there. It's like a game and we're playing it. We're going, oh God, I am so mad. I'm such a fucking victim. I am such a fucking victim. And people will say, I wasn't able to go and visit my parent or grandparent or whatever. I wasn't allowed. And apart from the people that were physically stopped, then there's nobody. We're told there was nobody that was stopping them themselves. Just yourself. It's your own fucking belief that that's more important than you're fucking saying goodbye to your grandparent or somebody who's been in your life your entire fucking life. They're an integral part of your life, and you've missed the end part. One of the bits that's the most important bits at the beginning and the end. If you can make your first words fucking quote and your last words unquote, then you've lived a perfect life. So you've got these fucking two things, and you're not there for one of them. It's just crazy. You allowed that to happen. All right, you might have got there, and they might have said to you, "You can't come in," and you'd have said, "No, I want to come in and see. I'm not going until I've seen him." If everyone's parent turned up, everyone, then it got round, but it didn't. It was like, oh well, we got to do what's good. It's for the kids, and these are old people. They've had a good innings, and if we lose a few, we lose a few. It's the casualties of war. It's collateral damage. It's fucking this. It's that. All these words given to human lives, and all of them don't mean fucking shit. Don't mean shit next to a human life. None of these words mean anything. Collateral damage doesn't mean anything. It's just a nice way of saying we fucking murdered some cunts. That's all it is. Collateral damage means we fucking murdered them, but we don't want to call it murder. We'll call it collateral damage. But all's fair in love and war, isn't it? Like, that's fucking true, is it? That's fucking true, is it? All's fair in love and war. Well, if all's fair in love and war, what the fuck were fucking Nuremberg trials about? Hey, they were war crimes, so it's not fair, is it? I fucking needed dropping on my head when I was a fucking kid, I'm telling you. I wish I had fucking been. Blah. So, yeah. But it's the media. It's the same with the Novak Djokovic thing as well. This is so fucking good, because this is so good. I mean, Novak Djokovic is a tennis player. I don't give a fuck whether he plays in open. I watch tennis. Right? I enjoy tennis. So I couldn't give a fuck whether he plays in the fucking US or he doesn't. Right? It done. I don't care whether they kick him out at US. In Australia. I don't care whether they kick him out of Australia. I don't care. It's irrelevant to me. It don't fucking make a blind bit of difference to me. But as an outsider, somebody viewing that, I'm thinking to myself, well, hang on a minute, they're going to let him in, and that now, for any ordinary Bruce, that's going to be bloody hard to keep those to justify that, mate. Now, there you go. You've got fucking division over something that's there to divide you from something else, which is there to fucking divide you from something else. It's just a fucking whole spasm of fucking division. And don't you think that the people who fucking know, the people that are running this shit, they'll go, right, fucking get them. I'll tell you what, let's have a fucking laugh. They're all fucking on have a look on Facebook now. This is what they're doing. This is in fucking New World Order headquarters. We're fucking sat there, and one of them's going, oh man, just fucking have a look on fucking on social media. Fucking have a look there, fucking Novak Djokovic. Oh, stop it in. That were a fucking master. They fucking love it. They fucking love it. It's all over the place. They love it. Right. We'll see if we'll give him a bit of a fucking victory. And we'll just chuck. I mean, I'll tell you what we'll do then is we'll chuck in a few fucking pictures of Novak covering his eye up. And make him, then they'll fucking not know what's fucking hit them. They'll not know what to think. They'll be like, fucking, oh, God, Novak Djokovic is a New World Order. Oh, it's this, it's fucking that. Oh, Novak Djokovic, I don't know, you can't trust him, Look at that, he treats him fucking, that's me now. I'm in command, fucking Jesus Christ, when they're going to give me orders from New World Order. New World Order orders, New World Orders. See, we're playing it. We're playing that game. We're allowing that game to happen in front of us, and we're being caught up in it. I mean, look, I'm as guilty as anybody else. I just want to I just want to just look at it and laugh. I mean, for 10 days it used to take, didn't it? If you got a COVID, if you tested positive for COVID, 10 days isolation. 10 days isolation. Fucking must have saved millions of people, because this deadly pandemic didn't kill hardly any. So that 10 days isolation, that must be intrinsic. We best keep that. Oh, hang on a minute. Well, put it down to 7 because fucking Post's a bit late this week. Posts were a bit late. Oh, why is Post late? Oh, and you've got fucked if you think fucking second Post comes. Fucking second Post, yeah. Remember that? There used to be a second Post. Fucking second Post. Fuck that. Right, we'll put it down to 7. Put it down to 7, but make it so that more of them say no. You know, these tests. Send loads out. Fucking load. Bill it. Put them on our account. on government account and get loads of them in and send them to them and fucking charge them if that's what needs to be and then we'll say 7 days now and then now they're on about going down to 5. It's just no consistency. This is getting worse, isn't it? I thought this was getting worse. Is it this fucking moronic thing? This will end of planet. We might as well. The amount of people that have probably gone, fuck this, fuck it. I'm fucking credit cards going up to fucking limit. I've got 10 grand limit on my fucking credit card. The fucking idiots. Boom, straight up to fucking top. 10 grand. World's gonna fucking come crashing down. It's fucking done. And then they have to fucking work out how to fucking. They have to get in, watch loads of Webby's videos to find out how to sort this ends out. Yeah, repeat indefinitely. And that's all you've got to do, repeat indefinitely. And you can take an entire species. I mean, this is, you've got to fucking do it, because you can train a dog and you can train a cat and you can train pretty much any animal to do stuff. But I mean, this is pretty much an entire species that you've trained to be, to put things, where they feel they stand on fucking social ladder based upon fucking clues, social clues that they just can't fucking, they can't even get their heads around, and just don't know. But I'm so around. I don't know where I feel bad. This is what's happening. People are doing this. This is what's been done to you. It's not. You're not ill. It's been done to you. You're being attacked. You wouldn't say you're ill if someone were kicking you bollocks, would you? You go, oh, fucking hell. Oh, what's up? Oh, I've got this fucking disease. Well, it just makes me knackers right bad. How'd you get that? Well, someone kicks you in them. No, it's not an illness. It's done to you. It's an injury. The fucking mental health of this people in this country is a fucking injury of the people fucking running it. You can blame what you want, but that's exactly what it is. It doesn't even have to be a bio war. It can be a fucking psychology war on your psychology. Your subconscious mind fucking planting all them fucking seeds that are just ready to be boom, boom, boom. Oh, yes. I ain't even fucking stopped for breath yet. 23 minutes in. John Knight is in there. He can't be bothered to explain. I don't know why he can't be bothered to explain. But he can't bother to explain something. Where's the bullshitter old loony gone? I don't know. I don't think he's a bull. What do you mean a bullshitter? Do you mean bullshitter? I don't know if he is a bullshitter. Is he a bullshitter? Have you got proof of that? I'll take it. I'm here for what's real, not what's fucking. What's fucking fake. I ain't got a fucking Scuba. I couldn't care less, to be honest. It's entertaining though to come on and talk about, isn't it? There's only certain guests I'd have on, and I'd probably have John O'Looney on. I don't know. You want to come on? Get him on. Get him on, and I'll tell you. I'm not saying it. I don't need to prove it. I'm not proving anything. You're the one that's saying it's bullshit, and not me. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying he said these things, which is just facts. See? So I don't need proof. It's not, the burden of proof isn't upon me. It's upon you. You see, but it's fine if you've got a point. But I'm not trying to prove that he's legit. I'm not trying to prove anything. I don't even care whether he's legit. Whether he's legit is no fucking significance to me whatsoever. They're all bullshitters. They're all fucking bullshitters. They're all bullshitters. They get caught up. Look, I watched. Here we go. I got my mate on. Thank fuck for that. We'll continue this with my mate. How you doing, my mate?
I'm all right, Jace. How's the sound?
That's brilliant, mate. Brilliant, crystal clear.
Oh, good stuff. I picked up on a few of the points while I was just getting ready. Are you still talking about Djokovic?
I'm talking about anything, mate. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I just about still on it. Yeah.
My take on it is that you're right. We could be. It can be played either way. You can play both sides of that fence. As the top tennis player in the world with lots of followers that he influences, it would be beneficial for the establishment to have some sort of incentive for him, be it financial or whatever, to do this and to create this, because I see from this elite group the white hats coming through, because Boris Johnson's government have been lambasted again today. And they're going on to him from mainstream media. Now, if you start seeing the BBC start to ask these questions, which they're doing, you've got to start asking what agenda is coming in. One thing I will say is that Djokovic's wife, a few years back, there's a tweet come out that she was celebrating Marina Abramovich being this wonderful spirit of a lady and all this kind of stuff. So again, you've got to ask the questions, but it could, as you said, it could go either way. It could play it either side.
See, thing is with Djokovic is he doesn't have to be New World Order. All I'm saying is that people are rushing to judgments, right? First of all, they're rushing to is a hero, right? And then you get these ones that it says you need a hero, I'll create a hero. That you get that, and then it's like, oh, now and there's these pictures of him, and he's got his, which can be manipulated, and which probably a fucking photographer said, right, let's have one like this, and that he does fucking thousands of pictures. Right, so he could have done that. That could be the reason, right? Don't make fucking Djokovic New World Order, does it? But on the other hand, it don't not make it like fucking Joe 90 in the thing who's talking here, who's talking in chat. It don't make it mean that he's not, because he's going to get paid either way. So he's either going to get paid because he's doing this because they want him to do it, or he's going to get paid because they want all this attention and all this media coverage, and how draconian it is in Australia, because then that sends like a little ripple of fear around the world of what's going on, and he'll get paid through courts when he sues them, which he eventually will. Inevitably, he'll end up suing him, or they'll end up paying him off. So he's going to get paid either way. It don't necessarily mean he's New World Order. I'm not trying to defend him. I don't know him. I don't know him from fucking Adam. It could be fucking ISIS for all I know. But all I'm saying is what people are posting. It's always instead of it being information, it's always trying to lean somebody one way or another.
Well, that's what it's for, isn't it? That's exactly what it's designed for. It's done its job already. The fact that we're having this conversation, it's done its job. Whether he is New World Order, or if New World Order are just using this situation, I can't.
Or not. He might be against them. He might know exactly what's going on, and be against them.
He could be, but that's why I say if he's against them and he is getting, he's getting well paid, is he doing all that because he's the hero and he wants to make things right for the world or people, or is he part of what is going to be showing us what this system has done to people and start throwing people under the bus? And those people who are now throwing, you've got Macron saying, I want to piss people off. You've got Trudeau saying the same things about citizens. They're being non-citizens if they won't have a vaccine. Well, what if it comes out that these vaccines are part of an agenda, and lo and behold, look at all the heroes that are coming out. See, I told you this was this and this and that and that. Then all of a sudden we've got a revolution. You mentioned Kazakhstan. You also said the Russians. The Russians are already there. They've got a peacekeeping force, believe it or not. So whatever's happening there, Jace, It's for a reason, and it's always Europe. It's always Europe it starts in because of that man-made law that they've got a foothold on in all of Europe. They're mandating vaccinations for over 50s in Italy. They can't do that here because it's not man-made law. I think that's fundamentally why we're still a little bit behind the rest of the world. We're looking to the rest of the world, and then our sycophantic media are going to the general population saying, is this a good idea? Do you think we should have quarantine camps for these people who won't get vaccinated? That's what they're doing. They're posing the questions, and, they were good German people that put people on cattle cars, Jace.
Oh, yeah. I'm no doubt about that. It's a mind fuck, isn't it? Which is you could take it either way. I mean, there's either 4 fucking different ways that they can go. So you never know when the next little bit comes out. I mean, what do you think they've been covering up? Because there's been this picnic, which is a fucking load of bollocks, right? It don't make a fucking blind bit of difference, but it don't stop them from that. Timed it. I was talking to we were sat. My wife's horse has not been very well today, so she had to be up there. And when she would come back, we were sat watching news, and I said, "This is the fucking this is the news, right? This is the main news at night. It's the 6 o'clock BBC News. This is where people come in from work and they put the fucking things down. They get the kit off, waiting for the tea, or they're having the tea or whatever. And this is what they're watching, and this gives them their opinions. First 10 minutes, we're talking about that fucking park picnic. First 10 minutes, that's a third of the news consumption that Joe Public. Oh no, not him. I mean, I don't know if he can consume all, but a dude, Joe fucking Plumber, that's what he's going to get. That's a third of the information he's going to get. And all the rest of it'll be bits on news, which he's probably turned down when he's listening to Talk Sport in his van. That's all the news he's going to get. So he's naturally angry because there's no else to be fucking angry at. That's all he really does. I'm like, what can I be angry about today? Well, he's angry that he couldn't go last year and have a pint and everything with his mates. He had to cancel his brother's stag do over in fucking Vegas. But yeah, he's having a fucking picnic on garden. Boris, who told him he couldn't fucking do it. It's just bollocks. It's utter bollocks. It's keeping him in that cage. It's like in a mental cage. It's a mental prison that you just can't fucking. Some people just don't seem to be able to break free of.
You're right, mate. The problem that you've got is that the mass majority of people are kept busy enough, distracted enough to have those news items. What you're hearing now, what you're talking about, is they're aimed at that primary school consciousness level that everybody will have a talking point. So you've got 30, even if it's a minute, 6 1-minute sections of different subjects. You could think that you know everything about what's going on in the world by watching the BBC and the ITV news just from them clips. You've got a point of view. You've got a subject to talk about. But the problem that you get is once somebody who's involved in any of them subjects start to question you about it, if you've only got that primary school input, then you're knackered because you're coming from the consciousness level of I vote for Labour because my dad did. Well, if we're still voting for Labour because my dad did, then you were going to get what my dad got. And my dad got fucked royally by the government and my mum because they were taught to work hard and pay bills. So we've got to start to ask these questions, Jace, and until we always come back to the same thing, until it affects your life, until somebody's knocking on your door saying you can't do this, nobody will do anything. That's my experience of it anyway. I mean, at the meetings, we've had a couple of new people turn up in between Christmas and New Year, and You know, they've only been looking at this stuff for a year, 18 months, and they're angry. And they're like, these people were like the Real Housewives of Cheshire. You know, they come from they've got a bit of money. They believed, they owned their house. And now they're realising that they don't. And they want to do something about it. But as soon as you start saying, well, yeah, they are going to turn up with police and the police are going to help them. Well, I've got kids, I've got a vulnerable, and I don't know what to do with that. Well, that's what we've all got the problem of. That's why they keep going away with it. That's why when you're now here saying, well, we need to do our own courts. Well, we've done our own court system. We've found people guilty. We've no way to enforce it. So how do we do that? I mean, we've theorised about using certificates so that if somebody in your community gets found guilty by the People's Court, let's call it, the People's Court finds you guilty, it's your business, guilty of something, well, maybe we can't get you to pay money because we can't enforce that, but we could issue certificates saying that this business is boycotted for a month because of this or that and the other. So you inflict that by communities in a fair and common law way. And that would be the only way. But that's getting a standalone system to take over from the system that's already there that would work perfectly if the people in the positions acted correctly and we actually acted correctly. We wouldn't be in this position. But it's what you just said. It's people who think they know what's going on and they haven't got a clue. And because it doesn't affect their life, they're not interested at the moment.
Yeah. Sorry. You know how some people have fucking compared fucking Trump to Hitler?
Right.
Just take a look at that one.
Is he looking for another hero to worship?
I don't know what he's doing. He'll come and save us, Trump.
That's the big thing for me, Jace. Trump did, whatever way you want to look at it, if you want to look at it as just as a presidential type thing, he did a lot of good as a president, but people don't like him because of various agendas that are going on that he doesn't want. But he still wanted all the vaccines. He still set everything up for Joe Biden to be able to do this. I mean, they're talking to him, Fauci now, and they're saying, everything you've set up isn't working. Look at these statistics. It's not working. And they're blindly ignoring facts now. So if you are presenting these people with facts and it's on mainstream news and they're still ignoring you and the people are still not doing anything, well, what does it say? It gets to the point where Kazakhstan, we've had enough. You put I mean, if anybody really thinks that that's just about petrol prices, you know, I don't know what to say to you. I really don't. If you think that's because petrol's gone up, that they cut 3 policemen's heads off and injured and killed so many others, and then the army and that have come in and done the same back to the protesters, the army used the term liquidate the protesters. Don't know if that's a nicer term than murder or genocide, but
I don't know. It's but they were. I thought this is what got me thinking. But have you noticed that apparently there's 6 million unvaccinated in Britain?
6 million vaccinated.
Unvaccinated.
Yeah. I thought there'd been more, but yeah.
Well, that's the number that they're getting at. 6 million unvaccinated. I mean, 6
an interesting number, though, isn't it?
That's what I mean. That's what made me think of it. I mean, fucking numbers mean dick to me. Apart from when Neil's presenting them, obviously, then they're fucking obvious, proper, real facts. Actual, they all work and count up. I've added them up. I've been through shows frame by frame and analysed it and checked it all off, so I know. Yuri Bashista says Kazakhstan was just a show. I don't believe it. Look, it weren't just a show. It was supposed to. They're saying it was a coup, weren't it?
Yeah,
They're saying it was an attempted coup now. That's the latest official line.
well, Kazakhstan's possibly one of the countries I've not got any Facebook friends in, so I'm not getting much news other than from RT with it. But if you're reading the reports from RT, the Prime Minister has abandoned, the government's collapsed, the Prime Minister's left the country, the leader of the army or the general was wanted, he left and asked for Russia to send some help, which they've done. And as far as I'm aware, they're in the middle of, I don't know, are they fighting? Are they battling? I mean, I saw one copper surrounded by protesters, and the protesters just come up, just took this automatic weapon off him and walked off with it into the crowd. So I haven't got a clue, mate. When you look back in history, the assassination of Ferdinand, that's supposed to have kicked off World War One when there was so much other things going on that wanted that war. It's the catalyst for the trigger. Is that the trigger? Well, there's going to.
They need something, don't they, so that they can say, so that they can have tests that says what triggered the First World War. And the people, right, Archduke, the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. And that'll be the correct answer. See, that's all that is. I mean,
it's how you read.
No one just shoots somebody and then, right, let's have a fucking war with world.
No, but it's how you rewrite history, isn't it? You start all that chaos, you cause it all, and then afterwards you sit down and go, so how did that happen? Ah, well, you're wrong. This is how it really happened. Oh, is that right? Yeah. Oh, I'll remember that. And then all of a sudden, we start pushing statues into the river. Who's that? Oh, it was a slave trader. Yeah, but what did he do? Well, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Well, who was it? Some slave trader. Well, we should know who he was, what he did, what money he put into the community. You need to know that your community was built on that, so that you know that you don't repeat it again. You don't have you don't have to have these statues here to revere. You have them there as a reminder. I mean, look at the Vatican. They've just put a statue of Moloch up there. they're celebrating the fact that we used to sacrifice our firstborn children to a demonic god. Yay, let's have a day for Moloch. Come on. It's time we grew up and stopped listening to it.
That's the point, though, isn't it? I mean, it's not like you say. It's not to revere. It's just to remember, because there is that saying that those that don't remember the past are doomed to repeat it. And that's the way that the past is being. It's being rewritten, like you said. And so, these people that have so fucking. The irony is that these people that are so fucking against slavery that they take down a fucking statue of some cunt that fucking had some slaves, like fucking everybody fucking, all these aristocrats and fucking founding fathers were all slave owners, weren't they? So they're taking this history and they're going to fucking end up repeating it. They've got rid of the old slavery and they're walking straight into the new one.
Well, this is the indentured servitude, isn't it? This is how they claim that we're not slaves, we're indentured servants, which is basically I choose to work for nothing. Well, that's what I do. I do work for nothing. The pieces of paper I've got in my wallet are worth nothing if the country's worth nothing. If they've increased austerity by 25% last year and we're paying £1.50 at the petrol pump, we're losing. The economy is tanking. We're billions into the debt that we could have flattened by not paying the bills. This is how fundamental it is for me, Jace. You know I've banged on about this for ages, but I can't get away from the fact that we have been taught to allow them to engineer this situation of debt where we give up our private property to them. And they've known about it since they put this into place. And yet we still vote for somebody who's going to keep that in place, because there's nobody going to go in to number 10 and go, hey guys, do you know what? We've been doing this pay your bills thing all wrong. It's just not going to happen, Jace. So it comes to the fact that if enough people don't wake up to do something, they get their way. If they see that they're losing their way, they will try and commandeer situations and guide that back to where they need it. They'll put somebody there who the people love. Like Tony Blair. Everybody was sick of Tories. We needed something new. So this dynamic new fella comes in, Tony Blair, who's going to do all this. And it's not until 10 years later you find out that he's got so much shit on him. He's been on Epstein's plane. He's a bit, all these kinds of things. And then you still not got questions. Justin Trudeau and his wife, both on Epstein's plane list. But he's running a country and he's telling people to lock up, and we're going to come and lock you up if you don't do what we say. They're being controlled. I don't know. But you know what, Jace? When you tell people that these people are puppets, they go, yeah, no.
Oh, no. That's just fucking... It's just fucking crackers, isn't it?
It's like having Andy in a wheelchair, isn't it? Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's fucking Andy in a wheelchair. All the way around, isn't it? There? Me in wheelchair and Andy pushing.
Yeah, no. It's a debt-based economy. Yeah, no. You can't pay your bills. Yeah, no.
They're all fucking crooked. Yeah, no.
It's all, mate, and it's daily. It's getting. They're not even trying, Jace. They're not even trying to lie to people. It's all right in your face, and it always has been, because we're so blinkered. Somebody posted an article. I think it was from the Irish Examiner or something like that, from 1980, 81. And it was a TV page, and it said 6:30 to 6:40. There was a 10-minute programme, and it was a programme on Jimmy Savile to how to keep your children safe.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that when I was having my pre-show shit. I was on I saw you posted that. That's wicked. Let me see if I can find that now. Post it up for everyone to see.
And you just think, wow, Jim will fix it. What a great way to hide doing stuff for children. Esther Ranson and Childline. And then you see the connections with Esther Ranson and the shall we say, hearsay evidence that, puts a shadow on Esther Ranson, who was in the 80s. Even as a kid, I remember Esther Ranson being held up there as this champion of the people type thing. And then as you grow up and you start to think for yourself, hopefully, you can easily go and join all these dots that these people have got a club. And it's a massive club, and it's all on different levels. And you just don't get into the club unless you've got a bit of dirt on you. And you certainly don't get into the better parts of the club unless you're filthy.
No, the fucking Firefox has just crashed.
Well, Clint Eastwood had that problem as well in the 80s.
Oh?
Clint Eastwood had that problem with his Firefox in the 80s.
Fucking I don't know why they want to keep updating shit all the time. Why can't they just leave shit alone? I sounded like I'm an old age fucking pensioner of the internet. I'm an OAS, an old age surfer. I've been surfing around for years. It's not a silver surfer, because a silver surfer were a term for somebody that were old when internet were new, weren't it?
Yeah.
So now I'm old and internet's quite old. I'm old, but internet's like younger than me, but it's like older, you know what I mean, than when I first met it. So it's, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm fucking talking about. Oh, updating stuff. Why do they have to fucking do it? We should have that as a discussion one evening. Right, let me find your thing. I want to get that.
It's quite easy to answer though as well. They update it because they can hide a lot of things. I mean, the things with the acts, we found stuff in acts, and we've said, hey, look at this section. People have gone to those sections now, and they've gone, that doesn't mean that, it doesn't, and they've shown it us. And we've had to go back to that act and find out where they moved it to. Because when they say, oh, that's been repealed, no, it's not. It's still in the act. If it's in the original act, unless it's something that is completely defunct, like, I do remember years ago, a taxi driver, a fella not paying for his taxi fare, and he got away with it because he'd come up with there wasn't a bale of hay in the boot of the car for the horse. And because it was still law and nobody had looked at to repeal it, he kind of got off with it. And they're like, well, you've got away with that one, mate. But they made sure that nobody else could use that ever again.
Yeah, right. I think I've got it now. Might be able to show it in a minute. Fucking brilliant. Good job I wrote bugs. I pissed myself. Which is always nice, isn't it? You know what I mean? You're when you do, you piss yourself laughing and you're in the right place. It's win-win. You can't fucking lose in that situation. Let me get a fucking picture up. Overlay, yeah, that's it. Overlay. Taliban? No, not Taliban.
I'm just looking at a Nottingham school has been condemned by a local MP because they're no longer admitting any transgenders.
No.
Only the Nottingham Girls High School, which is run by Girls' Day School Trust, will only be admitting students based on their legal sex record rather than their gender identity.
It'd be a private school then, won't it?
I would say so, being an all-girls school. There's not many of them about these days, is there?
No, not round here. I fucking searched phone book for them. Fucking no fucking girls' schools at all. There you go. That's it, isn't it? That's Christmas telly, weren't it?
That's it. Christmas telly.
1981.
You've got Great Expectations, followed by Jimmy Savile advising you how to keep your children safe.
And then fucking IDI. And that's still on, man. Sometimes Peggy gets a big chance to become a yellow coat in tonight's episode of this comedy series. Oh, man.
And you know what? If only Bergerac would have been able to investigate Jimmy Savile, we might have been able to sort it all out.
Yeah, stick them two together. In fact, stick all three news, play it safe, and then fucking Bergerac. Well, Bergerac in middle.
Oh, to be fair, in between Play It Safe and IDI, you've got bloody songs of praise.
Well, yeah, you've got to. It's got to be.
Which paedophilic diocese was that broadcast from?
Look at the look at the times as well. So Great Expectations, Play It Safe, and Songs of Praise 666. Oh.
Hey, you could actually be the Illuminati now. You're presenting 666 to people.
666 with Jimmy Savile stuck in middle there. What a find for numerologists everywhere. Numerologists everywhere were excited yesterday when Jason from Raconteurs News discovered another 666 with Jimmy Savile slap bang in the middle with your children.
Oh, do you know what? What you were just talking about, Jace, about you were going on about everybody's going on about this garden party. ITV have just published an article. I buried my son with only 10 funeral guests while the PM had Downing Street party. They're throwing this government under the bus, Jace. They're throwing them under the bus, and I'm wondering what they're covering up. I'm wondering what's coming through the pipe.
I don't know, direct. I don't know. Perhaps it's the old one or two of them are going to be going to go do a bit of stir on Jeffrey Epstein's island.
And that's another thing. We have to accept known liars that these people have been to court. These people have killed themselves. These people have passed away. I mean, the amount of people this. Bob Saget, right, out of Full House from the 70s, they're all raving about him. Yet when you look into the history of Full House and how, Mary Kate and what's her name, there's some sick stuff going on there. Yet he's being revered. Yet he's on that playing list of Jeffrey Epstein's as well. So people are disappearing. People are dying.
I did see something that said, I did see some, I think on, I think it were on somewhere, but I saw it and it were about Bob Saget, perhaps first one at Ghislaine Maxwell's, has gone. One of the people has gone.
Yeah. I mean, it's just very surreal that this stuff is actually just, it's just there for everybody to see, but people aren't putting these things together, and that's scary. It's scary when you present people with evidence and they go, "Yeah, I know," and there's nothing happening. I don't know what to say. It's like somebody running in your house to save you because your house is on fire, and you stop them and say, "Hang on a minute, where did this fire start? Because I can't see any smoke. Can you show me some? No, it's on fire in the back room." Yeah, well, I'll have to go and have a look at this because it's. Why would you? You get out of the house.
No. What you do is you go and get samples of the fire. You go and test them samples to see if it's the type of fire that hurts and that.
Yeah, it's not the type of fire that burns you through. Just warms you.
Just there's fire that hurts and there's fire that doesn't. Like getting fired, it don't hurt, does it physically? But fire does. So they have to check that it's that fire first. Take some samples. Get out. Go up and get them things. You used to have it. That you used to like Bunsen burners with at school, and like long bits of stick. I can't believe they let us have fire. They let us have fire like in classrooms at school when you're like 11. That's the best part of going to school, isn't it? Well, fire you can make. Gas taps on desk.
Exactly. Just took the words out of my mouth. When you realise that there was a gas tap and some way of igniting it, you just saw like dozens of school lads looking at these gas taps and looking at what's in their hand and going,
yeah, setting them on fire. Yeah. Setting them on fire, that's what they do. What are you going to do with a gas tap and a fucking source of ignition?
It's like putting a sign in front of somebody saying, "Do not press this button." There's a big button there. The first thing anybody wants to do is go, "Well, what if I press that? What will happen?"
Well, fucking, they like that. That fucking sulfur that they had in chemistry, and it was like in solution or whatever. But it were only in you couldn't if it were exposed to air, it'd fucking ignite. And so when it were only in like a fucking bowl, and we fucking took it out anyway, had to take it out because we were in there unsupervised, and someone took it out, and we fucking Jesus Christ Almighty! I had a fucking when they had to rebuild fucking lower school, and that would end at school discos as well because we used to have school discos at dinner time then. So fucking discos at dinner time. Can you imagine that?
So you blew the school up and you shut it down as well?
Well, yeah, it burnt down. It were an old Victorian wooden building. I think they did it for insurance. Yeah. I mean, who else is going to leave us with fucking like something that if it's exposed out at solution that it's in, that it's going to fucking ignite?
Good stuff.
Are you? It's got to be insurance, isn't it? So.
I think a lot of it is, with the insurance companies all being underwritten by the banks, with the local councils being involved. I mean, I posted something about a town hall near me. Now, the deal was done where this building was sold for £1. Now, somebody wanted to post that, well, it was £236,000 actually. No, the building was sold for £1. Then it was razed to the ground, and the company that bought it built a new building that is worth 236 grand that is rented back to the council. Well, it was still sold for £1. But some people are so quick to want to prove people wrong by a quick answer without doing any digging and any background. And I actually know people who are involved in that deal. You know, people,
Yeah, it's like Wembley when they built Wembley.
exactly, mate. But people don't want to think; they just want to prove people wrong. And it's the same with the vaccines. I had a family member who was umming and ahhing, and they were saying that he wasn't going to get vaccinated, and da da da. Then he was horrendously ill because, funnily enough, like Vladimir Putin hinted at, that Omicron seemed to be a variant of the vaccine and not a variant of the virus. So everybody, I think we spoke about this the other night, everybody who's not been vaccinated has been dealing with a new strain of cold or flu. So it's really hit people because, you know, when your immune system finds a new infection, it doesn't know what to do straight away. So it shuts you down, it makes you ill. You know, it's basic science, biology, whatever you want to call it. And then to survive that and say you're horrendously ill for a week and I thought I was going to die, but you haven't, but now you're going to go and get a vaccine, but you've just survived it. I don't get that mentality. But the factor is, they had to send me a text to tell me that they'd had the Pfizer vaccine and then sent it with an emoji doing a bicep, a strong arm bicep, and a smiley face with sunglasses on. They know how worried I've been about all my family who are all double vaccinated. They know how worried I've been, but they thought that they're proving me wrong because look, there's nothing wrong with me, Jace. So he's coming from a place to prove me wrong rather than get the facts because he's happy with what he's read and what Boris is saying and this, that, and the other. And I don't know how to deal with that mentality anymore. Other than
Well, it's the same. It's the same mentality as
you do what you do.
fucking. It's the same mentality as when you know when someone says, "Well, fucking fags are bad for you." Well, yeah, you say fags are bad for me, but my fucking grandfather, you know, he smoked 70 a day and he fucking lived to 163. You know,
Yeah.
they take like one as everyone knows smoking is bad for you. But you know, some people do it.
Well, I think it depends on the person themselves as well. I mean, over the years, I've seen a lot of good researchers come up with stuff about all different kinds of things from genes and cancer being inherited and all this kind of stuff. And yet you see geneticists who published data and information showing where they've used cells and put them into a bad environment and the cells have turned cancerous. Those same cells have then been taken and put into a different environment and they've healed themselves. So I think it's a mixture of society being sick, which has programmed us all to stay in that permanent fight or flight mode. And then you've got all the toxins on top with the food, with the air, with the water, the lights, the light frequencies. We tend to not even bother about street lights and headlights. They've all been changed for a reason. Are the headlights now, are they really that much better? Because I think they cause more accidents than they do allow you to see. They blind other people. The street lights, those orange lights we had when we were kids, it felt like you could see for miles. But you don't get
Great, wasn't it?
yeah, and you don't get that with the white lights because there's a distortion. I think there's a distortion in the frequency. When you've got a white light, you think you'd get more brightness. But because your retina's taking more of that whiteness in, you can't see through it. You can't see through the pollution. So I think we've been attacked. That World War III has been the silent war. We've been under attack for decades, mate. Our generation. I mean, I was quite spoiled as a kid, and I had my own TV. Well, not many people have more than one TV in the house. So for me to have my own television, I was part of the generation of TV generations where the television was going to bring me up. Well, I wanted to be a stuntman. I wanted to join the A team, all that kind of stuff. Well, that's where it took me. Well, I also knew from my parents who didn't have that it's only telly. They can do anything on the telly. So because I've got that balance of mentality, I mean, my mum would have been straight down the road with this. I'm sure she would have had the vaccines, or we'd have had arguments over it, because she was just so trusting in stuff like this. She'd done her bit, she's worked, she'd paid into the system, but the system wouldn't do anything for her. But, it's that British attitude, isn't it? What we're just meant to. That's life. That's what she taught me. That's life, Paul. It's just what we've got, what we've been dealt with. Well, we've not. We've been lied to. We've been sold pig after pig after pig, and been told that all the oinking is down to us. There's something not right, and I don't know how you wake people up to that.
It's the oinking. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, at least you're fortunate enough that you didn't have to have that conversation and have that sort of relationship with your mother. I mean, my mum and dad are both vaccinated, double vac. I told them, what more could I do? That's my. I told. With Dad asked me right at the beginning, at the very very beginning, because one thing about my dad is he'll listen to me, and he will take things in, but then he's got my mother at home to who's just nowhere getting through. So right at the very beginning, my dad rung me up. And he said, "What do you make of this?" And I said, "Dad," I said, "it's going to be a load of bollocks. Whatever it is, it's a fucking load of bollocks." I said, "What they want is there'll be a vaccine." And I said, "Whatever you do not take the vaccine." That's what I said to him. That was my advice to my dad. Not my advice to anybody else. This is not a channel about health or anything. It's a channel we do a bit of mental health stuff, but. It's and as you said, Dad, whatever you do, don't take it. Of course, then I didn't talk to him for quite a while, and then I found out they told me that they had been, because they wanted to go on holiday. See, so they'd been conned that way, that easy way. But I mean, it's my dad. My dad was conned had that fucking. He'll probably not thank me for telling you, but that where someone pulls you over outside at motorway and they say, I've run out of petrol, I ain't got no fucking, I've lost my wallet, and they gear a load of fucking gold in your hand, like it looks like gold rings, and you give them whatever you've got, or they want, just give me whatever it's these fucking gold, and then obviously the fucking brass, and they've got away with your fucking money, right? It's a contract. I mean, I fell for it. Right, so when he said that we wanted to go away, he says, "Well, we want to go away, so that's why we've been vaccinated." And I said, "Dad, you're not going away. You will not be going away." And sure enough, they didn't go away, and they've not been since. They ended up going to Great Yarmouth, and then coming home early. One, because it was fucking dog shit apparently. And two, because they both got ill. As deadly virus, as he called it, as he said to me when he told me we both got deadly virus. So there you go. There's just no telling people whether they'll learn that they've gone through it once. If they don't learn, what more can I do? I can't do anything else. Right? I can't influence anybody. I'm not going to worry about them because it's their own choice.
The thing is, though, it is their own choice, and like my family said to me, we've done our research, and we think we're doing the right thing. All their research was all from the mainstream stuff that is all pushing. Get this vaccine, get your boosters,
Well, where do you expect them to get it from?
Well, this is why I said that surely you should balance that stuff out with the stuff that is bad. Now, I showed them this stuff.
You're told that the media are balanced. You're told that the media, the BBC, you're told that they're fair and balanced, and it's within their charter. It's against the law for them to be biased. All this shit against the BBC charter. I mean, BBC Charter's supposed to be fucking worse than fucking Police and Criminal Evidence Act, fucking more stringent. But yeah, that's what's pumped into them while they're having the lies follow out come after that.
Well, look
The
at
most trusted fucking news service in the world, they'll say.
Well, they can do this, and they can say it and get away with it, because just look at what's come out in the High Court with Facebook. They tried to sue Facebook for defamation of character through fact checkers, and they've come out and said you can't sue them because it's not a fact, it's an opinion. Well, how many opinions, how many articles have we seen with opinions from BBC, from ITV? So they're giving us opinions of news articles. We're not getting news. And that's where the people are falling down, because they think that, for years you had the same newsreader, News at 10, Trevor McDonald, telling you what's going on. And look how well spoken he is, and how nice and how cuddly he is. And you can imagine him coming round for his Christmas dinner in his Christmas jumper and his reindeer antlers on. You think, oh yeah, I know Trevor. He's great, Trev. I've got family members who said that Tom Hanks can't be a paedophile because he's a lovely man. They've seen Forrest Gump.
The thing is, the Webby, right? You know where to go. We know where to go. These people don't know where to go. And I just...
That's what I'm saying. I've gone to show them and they won't look. That's where they draw the line. It's like there's something inbuilt, Jason, to stop them. And I've never had that. I've always wanted... Oh, hang on. There's an issue here, is there? Right, come on, let's spill the blood. I'm not going to bed until we've sorted this out. I'm that type. Let's spill the blood. If we need to do it, let's spill the blood, and then we can get over it. Let's not go to bed angry. Let's sort it out. But people don't want to, and it's the old adage, isn't it, that it's easier to fool somebody than it is to prove to them that they've been fooled.
Yeah, you're right. This thing that's come into my fucking head. All I'm thinking is when people are looking at things. Let's take the footballer thing for example. And I saw one tonight, and they were just this fucking classic. I don't know. It was just pure comedy gold. But they were a headline, a picture: Portuguese footballer 27 dies. Yada yada, everyone in shock type thing. And underneath somebody had written as a comment, now this is what I'm talking about, right? People not looking at things. Underneath somebody had written, was he vaccinated? And somebody underneath had written under that, I don't think it would have protected him from the car crash that killed him. you know what I mean? It's fucking just, people are just, instead of looking at article and then say, there's no mention that he was vaccinated, or if it is all like that, but if it is a cardiac death or all like that, but the simple look at article, it would have just said you'd have seen it were a car crash. Clearly not, but it might go down as a COVID death if he's tested positive his last 28 days, but I don't think that's what killed him.
Well, that was my point from earlier. That headline was enough for the mass majority to go, another COVID death. There's a little kid who had I can't remember what syndrome or what disorder he had, but he wasn't expected to live beyond his age of 5 anyway. And he's gone into hospital with these underlying health conditions, but he's tested positive and he's passed away. And they put COVID in the headline. It's not till you get halfway down the article that you realise that, he's tested positive, but he's got all these things wrong with him. You can't just say, well, that's COVID, because it ripped through him, because a cold would have done that. But colds are being told that's COVID when we can't test for it. So again, we come back to this thinking, the PCR test, we've admitted that the PCR test in this country, we've admitted via the back door that we can't use it because it's not legal, it doesn't do what it said on the tin. But we're not going to tell everybody that, because they'll go mad. And we won't tell them that the CDC have withdrawn it, because people might ask the question. So we'll just say, You only need a lateral flow. Now, the lateral flow was less effective, allegedly, than the PCR. And if you test positive, now you don't need to go for another test. You only need 5 days off. Well, what if you're not ill? Oh, well, you're asymptomatic. You can still have 5 days off. Well, people who are testing positive and they work for IKEA are now being told they can't they can't be paid because they're unvaccinated. So you see how all these pieces are going to fall into place now.
Mm. Yeah, and yeah, it's that, we knew that were fucking. That's where we're going to go all along, weren't it? You can see it, the long road in front of us.
Yeah.
Different camps and stuff. That's what they want anyway. That is what they want. I don't know whether I don't know what the next fucking few months is going to bring. My feeling is that we'll probably see an end to it, COVID bit at least by April, because it's. I don't think, but if you know, I think I'd have been a bit more rigid on that if I'd have not seen for myself that people have now started wearing masks more than they did pre-Christmas, which. I don't quite understand it. It's almost as if, Christmas, they've got this, like, they've not only got time off work, but they've got sort of time off government and time off from having to adhere to silly rules. Oh, it's Christmas time, and then it's regimented straight back to the old, doing as you're fucking told, as soon as Auld Lang Syne's fucking finished.
Well, I'm just looking at an article here, Jace, BBC. Quebec to impose health tax on unvaccinated Canadians. That'll help everybody. In Quebec, Canada,
Yeah,
they're going to impose a health tax on unvaccinated Canadians. Breaking news at 53 minutes.
wow.
The province of Quebec will charge a health tax to residents who are not vaccinated against COVID-19. On Tuesday, the Premier announced that it would be the first in the nation to financially penalise the unvaccinated. So, for refusing to be raped by a trial drug, you're going to get penalised for it. They're either going to cause a civil war or they're going to get what they want. You're not going to get either or.
Yeah. Yeah, you are. It's going to be right laugh, isn't it?
It is. Sky News have posted here now. The headline is about a fellow they visited in hospital. COVID-19. Patient in intensive care regrets being too lazy to get the vaccine.
Oh, so you're lazy now if don't get a vaccine? I'm cool with that.
You're lazy. Apparently, in America, you're racist and a misogynist.
I'm cool with both them things, man.
Exactly. Well, if I get vaccinated, that means it cures me of being racist, and it cures me of being a misogynist.
Yep, and it does. It will do well, won't it?
Be honest, Jace. Be honest, right? Is this a really vivid dream that we're all participating in? I'm going to wake up and go, "What a load of shite that was," or is this really happening? Because it is so surreal, mate. I can't. I have to. Is this really happening?
I did say it over day, didn't I? I don't know whether you're real. See, I don't know whether you're real. You might not be real. You might have been an actor playing you when I saw you, when I met you that time. I don't know who you are. I mean, you might not be real. Like I said, I had that dream of an eater. We're in a fucking mind control fucking experiment with being masterminded by Neil Sanders.
Well, do you know what, mate? That is the point, because at this moment right now, I believe I've been awake all day. I'm in control of my situation right now. I can feel my coffee table and things like that. So I'm awake, but I've also had dreams that have felt exactly like this. You know, I've participated in things in my dreams, woke up and gone, "Oh, thank you, that's just a dream," because it was so real. So we don't know. What if a psychosis puts you in to a different realm of consciousness where in this realm your meat carcass is dead and you go for something else. This is where all the energies and all the new age stuff goes, that you move on to something else. Whereas, when if you go back to just the scripture, it's a lot more black and white than that. There's not all that colouring in it. So that creates a debate in itself. So from everything that we take in from information, what we think is real, it's only our interpretation, our whatever you want to call it, how we decipher things to what reality yours is in. I mean, I've dealt with lads who are convinced that things manifest in front of them and they do things. And I know it's them that have done it, but they say it's not. So I don't know what they're seeing. It's the same with when we're dealing with schizophrenics. They hear voices. Now, me and you, I certainly say, well, I've got a voice in my head, but I know it's me. Well, these people clearly, distinctly say, no, it's a totally different kind of voice. So are you in between frequencies? Are you in between the veils? Are you hearing voices from demons or something like that? Or is it what they say is a broken part of the brain? I don't think that the brain is mechanical like that. I think it's more of a receiver and a transmitter, if anything.
Yeah, I had a right witty line that I was going to say at the end of that, and I fucking forgot about it. I completely forgot about it. I got this fucking line. It was lined up. I'm going to jump in a couple of times, and I thought, no, I'm going to save it till then.
I bet it was
a fucking good line, and I was
funniest
fucking
thing you'd
laughing
ever
at myself.
say. I bet it was the funniest thing you would have ever said.
I bet it were and all. I bet it were going to be right funny. And fucking hell. Well, it must have been right funny. If I can remember it were going to be right funny. I can't remember what it were. See?
Do you know what? You wake up at 2:10 in the morning and you go, hey!
Oh, that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, are you talking to me? Were you talking to me?
Danielle up and tell her.
I was going to say, you're talking to me because you started off about schizophrenia.
Oh, it'd probably been funny. It would have been funny back then, mate.
It would have funny, but now people at least know, and they won't go to bed thinking, what would it have been? What would it have been?
Yeah, I'm so glad he's not disappointed me. He's told me.
Yeah. See, now they know they can go to sleep like soundly with the Horlicks, have their Horlicks, cuddle up with the cat or whatever they've got, dog or the husband's wife.
I've got a question for you, Jace. How long ago is it that you got up of a morning and didn't have the thoughts of COVID and what insanity is going to go on today? I know you don't really, I would say, follow the news as such, but it's like when I was going through all the court stuff. Every day I was waking up, it would be court, it would be legal stuff straight away, and it took till 2017. In between 2017 and this COVID bollocks, where I got up with a smile on my face, wanting to get up and go out and do things. I got back to a life like that, and then all of a sudden, this has all kicked off. And this has only been going 2 years, but it feels like so much longer. It feels like it's a different era. It's like all that's gone now. All that era's gone. You look back. Do you know where I'm going? You tend to romanticize your past and your history and things. But I look at a lot of the old photographs of my town, and it was a more beautiful place. It was more basic, but the roads were cleaner, the pavements were cleaner, the buildings were cleaner, the people walking round. I wouldn't say they look cleaner, but I don't know how to put it. They look different. They look more respectable. They don't look like scroats. I walk around my town, and even I've walked around and going, well, I've got my trackies on my hoodie. I look like a scroat. It's like people have changed dramatically. And it's because me and you sat and we've gone backwards and forwards all over this stuff, I can see a definite change. Certainly within the last 10 years, that's been the most dramatic, but nothing like the last two. But the most dramatic is like the last two. 10 years, it's changed a lot. The noughties started to change it slightly. I think it started with the millennium bollocks when everybody said, well, I'm not paying 50 quid or 100 quid getting into a pub on New Year's Eve. I'll do my own party. So everybody stayed at home. Well, that was getting people used to not going to pubs. That's where it all started to drop off. Then you had the 9/11, then you had the 7/7. So within 20 years, psychologically, we've been hit with us so much. And then if you go back 10 years again to 1990, when Bush announced that we've got a real chance of this new world order, you realise that within the last 30 years, this is the push. And the era started when they took Kennedy out. So this portion is only 70 years old. And it was created by the two world wars previous that my uncles fought in, thinking it was for freedom. And those people that say, lest we forget, are saying people like me and you should be locked up, put into camps, charged money for not being vaccinated. We've learned nothing, mate.
Yeah. Speaking of camps,
I thought you were going to say unis here.
Did you see Mark Devlin's fucking last video?
I started to watch it.
Yeah, me too and all. I started to watch it, and I think he started like okay. See, my point of it isn't anything against Mark Devlin, anything against anybody really. It was just an observation that I made. But he starts fucking reeling off these people that he wanted to give special mentions to. You know, the mark of the Dev. And he starts reeling these fucking people off. Oh god, I fucking completely lost point. I was fucking making.
It must be good shit.
Oh yeah, yeah. Then he says, and then he goes, and also, it's not quite my style, but yes, he's been doing some good stuff, dropping some truth bombs out there, and so raising some consciousness. Alex Belfield. So I'm thinking to myself, for fuck's sake, man, fucking Alex Belfield, man, thanking him. I mean, yeah, it's a wide sweeping brush, that, isn't it? It's a wide sweeping brush, you know, that it's sort of got him into you. He's must be part of gang now.
That's what I was just going to say. It's, as a skeptic, I would say that would be something that somebody would do, trying to broaden their own, I don't know what you call it, viewership or whatever, subscribers, you know, to widen it. I mean, I've tried it. I look at what I did. I started off with Vinnie Eastwood's show, and then ended up co-hosting on a radio show. So it's, you know, you try and get your information out on whatever platform you get. But the problem that I've always had, I was talking to a lad last night who's going to come on the show. I'll tell you about him in a minute. But they want to talk about truth, but there's only a certain part. You know, everybody who I've spoken to, right, who understands the bills of exchange when I'm saying it, when they understand it, they go, wow, how they got away with that? Well, any of the what you'd call truthers I've had conversations with, they seem to go, and then go on to the subject they want to talk about. So for me, I still don't get that. Why is it not a big thing that banks are stealing people's property without lending any money, and it doesn't need to happen? Why is that not a big enough thing? Well, that makes me think then, as you said before, that the People's Voice, all that funding that went, and then it all disappeared, and then people move on to different platforms and are asking for funds again. So you start to say, well, maybe you don't want that to come out. Maybe you don't want the people to know that they've been getting ripped off like that, because maybe you've got a promise of a bit of revenue later on. Maybe you're going to be in the entertainment industry, Maybe we're going to pay you to entertain us and not these Jimmy Saviles. Maybe we'll pay somebody else who's not going to abuse children and do things like that and abuse dead bodies. It's always a good thing, isn't it, to have a TV presenter that doesn't have sex with dead bodies? I would have thought.
Oh yeah, always, especially if you're doing a show where there ain't no dead bodies.
Yeah, well, you tend to you have a program like called the Graveyard Shift. Gone after the watershed or something like that.
Fucking Graveyard Shift, yeah. I mean, Savile were just fucking. He would just beyond how people fucking couldn't see it beforehand. I mean, it didn't even. I don't even know what his appeal were. What were his appeal? Apart from his big cigar and his fucking chair and that. And his golden tracksuit. Gets a few fucking golden tracksuit. Gets his golden tracksuit and a few fucking jangle jewellery.
Have you ever watched the? Well, that was what you just said. Jingle jangle. That's like you're talking magic with a K when you're talking jingle jangle and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Now then, it's duality. It's all like spell casting. And have you seen? Russell Burton did a great video called, I think it's called The Ninth Circle. If you can still get hold of it, it's probably on BitChute if it's not on YouTube. But he goes into the darker stuff of what Savile was, we'll say allegedly involved in. And when you start to put things together, why was he so revered? Why did he have automatic access to, the what hospital was it that he was involved in?
Oh, St James.
No, the other ones. Was it Stoke Mandeville?
Stoke Mandeville, yeah.
So he could walk in there. He could walk into the Buckingham Palace. You're not just a well-liked TV presenter and a disc jockey, are you? So if he is into all this occult stuff, and he's been recognised by these people, remember, Aleister Crowley was the most decorated man in Freemasonry at one point. And he was the beast, mate. So these people love the people like Jimmy Savile, but they just can't talk to us about it. That's how it seems anyway, when you're looking at all the evidence, be it circumstantial or not. There's enough circumstantial evidence to raise a doubt about anything. And, when we talk about law, it's simple if it's correct. And I always remember my first ever day in a courtroom on jury service, and the judge said, if you have one doubt, not guilty. That's what I'm telling you. One doubt, not guilty. If you have no doubt, guilty. It was that simple. So when you sat in a court case and there's a doubt raised, not just one, but half a dozen or a dozen, it's not guilty. It's got nothing to do with what you think might have happened. So you go with what it is. Well, when you look at what he was doing, how he got away with it, how everybody loved him, look at it was like a death of a royal when with all his procession and everything, and then you realise that you just celebrated the life of a man who was having sex with dead bodies. And that was just scratching the surface. And you start to think, these people that he rubbed shoulders with, they must have known. Because I know that if I spent enough time like these people have done with somebody, you get to know what they were doing, especially on a scale like that.
Yeah, well, you had to anyway. I mean, the amount of security around everybody that you were around, they would have known. They would have known. They would have said, "No, and fucking don't want to be Chuck. Don't want to be hanging about with him. He's right fucking wrong." But no, because that's there's some people fucking know some fucking shit out there. So you see, I were a DJ, and nobody come up to me and said, "Hey, you're a DJ, eh? Oh, here's fucking keys to a nut house for the criminally insane."
Maybe you didn't have a good tagline, now then. What should you have
said that? I should have tried that, shouldn't I?
Maybe you should have gone, hey up.
I hope. No,
But if you look at some of the Jimmy Savile stuff, and when with his links with not just Freemasonry and things like that, but the darker stuff, and then you've got the Peter Sutcliffe stuff, where yeah, there's hearsay, circumstantial, whatever you want to look at it, that points to possibly it not being Peter Sutcliffe, but he's took this. For what reason? What reason would he do that? Why would why would Jimmy Savile take special interest in the Yorkshire Ripper and introduce him to Frank Bruno? There's very strange things happening when you start to look at it, and you put it down on the table and you go, well, if those events happened, you'd ask a question. You know, it's like when the BBC interviewed Prince Andrew and said, well, you went and stayed at a convicted paedophile's home for 2 days. Yes, I did, but well, it was just convenient. What? It was just convenient. I was over there on business. I would have had to make arrangements, and it was just convenient. It was
I know how hard it must be for him to make arrangements.
Well, exactly. And to state that on a BBC interview, that it was just convenient, that's all, to stay with me old paedophile mate. It's bonkers. It's bonkers because people have accepted that that's happened, and they've accepted that, oh, we'll never hear anything, though. He'll never get done. Oh, and Jeffrey Epstein, he's dead now, is he? How do we know? Maybe it just got that. Maybe it got that hot for him that he had to be taken away. But I certainly wouldn't be saying that he's dead, because where do we get our information from? And that's what you've got to sit with. Well, the people who we're getting our information from are known liars, all of them. And the police at the highest levels down are corrupt. You know, when you say the police are corrupt, you'll get individual coppers, people I know. They're not all like that. No, they're not. But, mate, if I come to you and say, look at what happened with me, will you investigate it? You'll get shut down. You get shut down. I had an hour and a quarter interview with a constable who said that how the courts had acted was criminal. After 10 minutes with a detective sergeant, she came out and she said, it's a civil matter. They stole my property. Who do you report stolen property to? The coppers. The coppers turn around and say it's a civil matter. So as long as everything that's stolen from you is civilly done, Jace, you're knackered.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, can you imagine how civil we could be? You know, it takes you back to, oh, I'm sorry I'm going to cut your head off, sir, but you did owe me a fiver. We've gone backwards.
Yeah, well, we have. As we've gone forwards, we have gone backwards. We've gone forwards in no way at all. I mean, if you say we've gone forwards in technology, we haven't gone forwards in technology. We've not gone forwards. The technology's gone forward, not us. We've not gone forward with it, have we? Now, technology's going to fucking end up taking over.
I think that's all
be fucking stuck. Isn't it? Your fridge is going to be stopping you from getting out because, you know, you've had your fat content for this week.
And you'll accept it. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Well, they've retarded the generations enough. You know, I working with people and seeing the younger ones coming in, the 22, 25-year-old lads, and you can't have conversations with them. You know, they all talk in the same kind of language, which is oh, that's sick. Oh, sick, innit, mate? Oh, that's, yeah. Oh, are you on it? Are you on it? Are you on it? That's all you get. You can't have a conversation because they don't know how to articulate. But they know ounces and pounds and cash. They can add up and take away all right for drugs and all that kind of stuff. But there's no life. It's all been taken away from them because they're put in situations that, you know, you see people living well. You see all the stuff on TV and music saying, you know, particularly the hip hop stuff and the gangster rap. You know, I was into hip hop before it became about hoes and bitches. You know, there was like kind of a message at some point in some of the rap stuff, but it's totally different to what it is now. But that lifestyle and having all that bling and all that gold and them cars and those holes, that's what people go for. And they
Yeah,
can
but
work that.
you see, early hip hop were all about having a good time and dancing and doing your groove and being better at grooving than your buddy over there or your opponent. Not like I'm gonna fucking slit your throat and fucking rape your fucking mother-in-law type stuff that you get these days. It were all good-hearted stuff. I mean, fucking Will Smith. Look at this. I know it's not hip hop, but that's the sort of thing that it never went any further than that, really, did it? I mean, you got certain acts that like NWA and that were in that they weren't overly. Well, do you know? I don't even fucking know. I wouldn't know one of their records if it fucking smacked me in the face.
If you go back to 1945, right, we end the war. Whoever comes home comes home. Then the government will start to ignore all the people who've come back from that war, and they'll be dealt with mental health issues and stuff like that. But you don't have mental health issues in the 40s and 50s. You pull your socks up, you get on with things. So I knew many stories about people coming back, and they became drunks, they became all kinds. But the families all tried to stick together. But that had started to change society. Society was being engineered because its heart had been ripped out for 6 years during a war. People had gone. People had then, we had to rebuild this society. Well, from the mid-50s going into the 60s, you had a change in music, which influenced a lot of people. I had this conversation with my family over the Christmas period when we were talking about Beatlemania. And because I remember you having Matt on talking about it. And it was a new thing that 4 lads playing guitars and beating drums had women screaming beyond, it was just unbelievable how these women were reacting. And then you had all the drugs pumped into that culture and this movement that was tested and tried and perpetuated. And then you see everything to change with Kennedy's assassination and all that coming in. And then look at every decade, Jace, from me and you growing up. You've just said how it changed with Will Smith. Well, 1980s, you had Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five preaching the message about white lines, don't do it, all that kind of stuff. Then you had, as you said, NWA coming in after all that. Heavy metal even started to change. So the 90s swept us, picked us up and started to sweep us along. But me and you were in the tsunami that started in deep ocean. And we just gradually been swept along. But we can see the coastline, and there's people who are in front of us who are just getting wiped out. And we're seeing the crest, we're seeing the coast.
The Beatles had an Epstein at its heart.
He did. He had a Jeffrey.
They had a what? A Jeffrey? What's one of them? Is it
Wasn't
like rhyming slang?
Wasn't he a Jeffrey Epstein? The Beatles manager.
No, you're thinking about Jeffrey Archer.
No, the Beatles manager.
Yeah, Jeffrey Archer. Jeffrey Epstein were an MP.
No, Jeffrey Archer was an MP, you crank. He wrote books as well, Jeffrey Archer.
Lord Archer?
Yeah.
No, he were a lord, he weren't a fucking MP. He were a lord.
Jeffrey Archer. Epstein was the Beatles manager, mate. I just can't remember if he was named Jeffrey. Brian Epstein? Brian Epstein sounds right.
Fucking Jeffrey Epstein, where do we get that from?
Jeffrey Epstein's the one who's just killed himself now.
Oh, right, okay. And
Spanish Chicken's confirmed it's Brian, and so is Bandit Buster, and Spanish Chicken again.
Oh, hey, fucking Brian, yeah. So what's fucking
You
Archer
were Jeffrey Archer, mate.
What's Archer going to do with it?
You brought him up, mate.
Should we get Uni on and take piss for a bit?
He already asked. He asked about an hour ago. Could he come on?
Did he? Oh,
Yeah.
well, get him on then.
You're in
Oh,
control.
sorry,
son.
Uni, I didn't hear you, mate. I didn't hear you. You should shout louder.
There
He's
you
probably
go.
got it.
Principium has just said he was an MP, Jace. He was an MP. I knew Jeffrey Archer was an MP.
Yeah, no, I'm fucking winding you up, man. All locking you. Did
Oh,
you see how I got you all like confused about Jeffrey Epstein and Brian Harvey?
no, but what I can see is you've got some good shit there.
It's good, isn't it? It's all right, yeah. I've
You've
got
got,
it new.
you've got some good shit.
It's new stuff. I've
I
just,
bet it is.
just
Not
put
mixed
it.
with meth, is it?
It's what?
It's not mixed with meth.
No, don't do meth, mate. No. Fucking meth.
Did you have a listen to that track that I sent you?
No, I didn't realise you'd sent me a track.
I put it on your wall. It's called Clot Shot by the Clown Prince.
No, I ain't seen it. No.
Oh, I'll send it you, mate. It's you'll love it. It's a good one.
Oh, what's up?
Can you hear him?
I can hear him, mate. I can hear you, Taylor.
Yeah, I don't get why Jason can never hear me when I enter.
Jason can never hear you.
Maybe he can, but he's just pretending not to.
Are you talking to him?
Yeah.
Is it here? Can you? Is it?
Yes, I can hear you, Jason.
Jace,
Turn your mic on.
Jace, every time he comes on, everybody apart from you can hear him. Everybody.
Yeah.
And you sit there like that and you start shouting at him, and we can all hear him.
Yeah. It's like, come on, man.
Well, his ring's not going.
I beg your
His ring
pardon.
usually goes round. If he's talking, his ring goes round. His ring's not going round.
Oh my god.
He's going to be asking you if you turned on in a minute.
Are you turned on, Jason?
Ah, yeah, there I am. There he is. I'm turned on. Yes, I am.
I've been able to talk to him for 2 minutes, mate. I don't know what it is with the delay at your end.
You can't hear him. His fucking mic's not on, is it? It's this thing. I think it just takes time for it to do it. I don't know what it is.
Jace, I was talking to him. Everybody can hear him apart from you.
Yeah. I swear, Jason, are you just trolling?
Yeah, I'm trolling. No,
Is that
I
a
couldn't
way-
hear you, mate. I couldn't hear you.
Is that a way of asking him if he's turned on? Because he's talking about your ring spinning round.
No,
Yeah.
you know that thing on outside, it goes out in and out when you're talking. Not on me, obviously, because I've got my proper head. But you two have got different heads. But like a ring thing comes out. Set them at one in you, and you'll see.
I know, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but I could hear him. And everybody in the chat room said we can hear him. And every time he's come on, I've always been able to hear him. And you're going, turn your mic on. And he's going, I'm talking. Can nobody hear me? Everybody's going, yes, we can hear you. And you're
Fucking
going,
having me on, aren't you?
you're going, fuck off, Taylor, you're a dickhead.
You're fucking having me on, aren't you? You're fucking doing this on
I
purpose.
promise you, Jace, I promise you, mate. We've always been able to hear
Because I left
everything.
you on last time, if you remember, you two on together. You've concocted this.
No, I promise you, mate. You can ask the chat room. Ask the chat room if every time Taylor's come
They're
on.
going to lie to me, aren't they, for fuck's sake?
Dinny couldn't even hear him. And Dinny couldn't even hear himself that night.
When can Dinny hear himself? Oh, dear. So what's going on with you then, Taylor?
Nothing much. Just same old here in the United States. Freaking man, I hate these like lockdown restrictions and shit they got over here, where it's just like you can't go in to a store unless you like have a proof of like unless you have a mask or you have proof of vaccination or whatever, that nonsense.
Don't people naturally think you've got a mask on?
How strict are they, Taylor, where you are?
Well, some places are perfectly fine. Like they just ignore it, even if they have like a sign on the door. If I walk in, they don't say anything. Other stores they do, like Barnes and Nobles. I can't go in there.
What have you tried?
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, so excuse me, sir. Would you like a mask?" And I say no, and they say, "Well, I'm afraid you'll have to leave then, sir."
Did you not say you're exempt?
I don't think I try. I don't. Well, that was a while ago, so I don't remember, to be honest. But I don't think I did.
Did you put a mask on?
No, I have not put a face nappy on once since this nonsense started.
Okay, I just asked it, mate. I wasn't gonna say you shouldn't have. I was just gonna say.
I don't think his mum requires him to have a mask on in his bedroom.
No, but anybody else who goes in there does.
Yeah.
Taylor, if you don't mind me asking, is your family vaccinated?
Oh yeah, remember I told you before? They're all double
I
jab.
was just checking. So have you not been pressurized for that?
No, actually, surprisingly not.
Has that never even come up?
No. They never asked me about it. They probably know that I would say no because my mom says, "Oh, you watch some weird stuff." They probably know that's not worth it.
Well, you do watch some weird stuff. I mean, that anime is pretty weird, mate.
Yeah, especially when you get into the anime porn.
Is in Washington, Spanish.
Washington State, not DC. Got a different.
Washington State.
I never understood why they made two different Washingtons. It's just like, why?
There's not. There's only one Washington in the US. That's you. That's your state, mate. There's only one Washington in the US. Washington DC is a different country.
Oh yeah, it's like its own province, isn't it? Like London.
Yeah, Vatican as well.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Speaking of which, you said something about the Pope putting up some kind of new, or not the Pope, but the Vatican putting up a statue of a, what was it?
It's a couple of years back that now. I think it was 2019. Statue of Moloch.
I thought you were going to say putting up some new curtains.
New curtains. I mean, you're going to need new curtains. For
Drapes, I mean drapes.
That is good stuff you've got, isn't it?
Drapes, curtains, what's the difference?
Oh, drapes, drape and curtains, tain curtains.
Do you know what? At this moment, we could have a conversation about curtains for an hour.
Probably.
Jace has got curtains on his mind now.
Well, you've got the curtain ring holding up the curtains, and then you've got the pole holding up the curtain rings. Now, who is the hero there?
What if there's a pole shift?
I don't get that.
You've got a pole with rings.
Yeah, about the Kazakhstan thing, I personally think it's all just it's just also a show. I mean, seriously, this random civilians being able to just walk up, completely unarmed, able to just walk up and take the weapons away from the police who are heavily armed and all that. Like, no, that's just no. I
don't know them, mate. They're not like Americans, you know. These fuckers, they won't mess about.
They have decapitated 3 police officers.
We're talking fucking Eastern Europeans here. We're not talking about your fucking country boy pussy. We're talking about fucking Eastern Europeans. Fucking, they're telling you, they'll fucking kill you. We're not fucking. They don't take no shit, man. That's what I'm saying. They won't take no shit, and fucking Russians will be on their side, and it'll all be supposed to be fucking. That pipeline goes through there, though, doesn't it? That's why. Past fucking pipeline from gas pipeline from Russia to Europe.
Speaking of Russia, how's Putin been handling this whole COVID nonsense? I know he called on 9/11 and JFK for being for being a Jewish psyop, but what has he been saying about COVID?
Who you asking us about?
Putin.
Oh, Putin! He says he's fucking right bad. He said he's fucking not felt so bad in ages.
he was the one, Taylor, that said that the Omicron variant, he was the one who hinted at being a vaccine variant and not a viral variant. So,
Well, good job on Putin, I guess, for calling out the vax for what it is.
well, you've got to understand it. It's like what Jason was talking about with Djokovic. It's all these sides all want the same thing, but the people who are in control of these sides are now fighting within themselves and each other to take control of what they believe they're going to create. But it can never stand. It can never stand. It's the two divided, and we know what divided does. It conquers everything.
Yeah.
The Djokovic thing, like Jace was saying, it doesn't matter whether he is or he isn't, whether he's a hero or he's a shill. It's done its job by just creating the argument. That's all it needs is create argument. That's what this world's about.
I guess that's true. I don't know. It's just that I've been hearing, I hear a lot of good things about Putin, and while I don't fully trust the guy or anything like that, because a politician's a politician at the end of the day, but Christianity apparently has been prospering in Russia since in recent years because of Putin.
It depends on what Christianity it is, though, doesn't it? I mean, look at the Christianity you've got in the US. It's televised and valid.
Christian Zionism.
Evangelicals, yeah, it's churchianity. That's what you've got. You've not got Christianity, it's churchianity. And, people are quite lost in a lot of areas. You know what I mean? Would you find Putin more palatable if he invades Poland?
Well, I mean, you have to think. I mean, well, it all depends on circumstances. Like, you have to remember the reason why Hitler invaded Poland in 1939 wasn't just because, I wanted to go to Poland and take it over. Yeah, you brought it up.
I was looking at Joyce's face because he had this. I thought his batteries had run out, and then he blinked. So I thought, no, he's in deep thought. And I thought, I wonder what he's thinking about. And then as soon as you said that, I said, now I know what he's thinking about. You've even kicked Denny off now.
Denny, you're obsessed, Taylor. You're fucking obsessed with him, man. Listen, other dictators are available as well. Just in case anybody's watching, we are impartial here.
Yeah, we haven't got a particular dictator that we sponsor.
No.
Netanyahu?
Well, that's including our current dictator, Boris.
I don't think the guy's smart enough to be able to dictate where he goes to the bathroom, freaking let alone a country.
Well, that's correct, but people think that he's running the country, and as long as people think that, then we're in a lot of trouble.
I mean, we got people thinking that
it's like you lot thinking Biden's in charge.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what the fuck? This guy can't even complete a thought without freaking without stumbling over himself. Like, how is he running a country? He ain't running shit.
I think they're all laughing. at us, mate. I mean, you guys over there withdrawn the PCR test on New Year's Eve. We've withdrawn it, but we're not using it. There's a lot of things that have changed within a couple of weeks there, but people still haven't noticed it. And as Jason pointed out, there's more people wearing masks now than there was before Christmas, and there's nothing changed other than TV advertisements.
Oh, that one about fucking COVID spreads through air. Like, what did it say? Like, fucking radio advert I listened to today. COVID spreads through the air like, God, I can't fucking remember what it was, but it was something like a fart or something. So if you smelt fart, you essentially got COVID.
So I guess that woman who made all the fart jars would be spreading COVID to a lot of people.
She's been committing genocide, Jace.
She has, hasn't she?
That's a
That's what it is, isn't it?
It's a
Because
grand-
everybody who bought everyone who bought a jar,
You
they
could
were
see
all fucking unvaccinated.
Oh boy.
And we're fucking saying because she'll only sell to unvaccinated people. And we're all going, yeah, she's a hero. She'll only
Hey, hang
sell
on a
her
minute.
parts in a jar to unvaccinated people. Really,
Hang
she's
on a
fucking
minute,
wiping
hang
them
on a
out.
minute. Maybe she could claim that because she had a heart issue, didn't she? Because of all this farting, they said that she's had a heart attack or something. Maybe she's been farting vaccinated farts. So maybe she's been vaccinating people for a grand.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Wow.
I might, you know what I might do? I might search her down or invite her on. Because you know, sometimes if you get somebody on and they've written a book or something, they might send you a book. You know, always, but they might send you a book. And you know, so if I get her in, invite her on, she might send me a fart in a jar, and I can send it off to Richard Diola to have it tested.
Unbelievable, mate.
Or you could have the guy on that made all the cum jars, and then you can ask if you're horny.
Cum jars. What? I daren't ask. But I'm gonna.
Go on, ask.
Tony knows. Ask him. He's the one I learned it from. You remember he said it in the chat.
What are you talking about? What are you talking? What are people talking to you about? Come in jars, did you say? Or tubes?
Yeah,
or
jizz
what?
inside jars and selling them.
But why though?
Fuck if I know. Why is there a woman selling fart jars?
I know I can put a fart, right? I can see.
Yeah, that's why, mate.
It's one of them things that you know, if you're one of them sort of people like you, right, that ain't got much of a social life, you get your fart in a jar and you put it on top of mantelpiece and you say that's for a fucking special occasion, that. And when you get a special occasion that comes along, then you can open your fart in a jar. But while you've got it there, it's there all the time. But come in a jar, it's just going to dry up.
Are you saying you put that like next to the Remy Martin in your cupboard? Let it, let it gestate for a few years. I'll save it for a special occasion. You say, "Hey, love, do you remember that jar next to the Remy Martin? I think it's that time." How do you celebrate that?
So, according to Tony,
It's driving test. Get that jar out.
Tony's denying all knowledge of coming jars, Taylor.
Huh. Maybe that was the wrong thing then.
I don't know what you're going to get fucking wrong.
I know he's talking about something.
I've got that mixed up with something else. Something else in the jar.
Taylor, I'm sure that maybe they won't let you in that shop for some other reason.
Oh no.
Yeah. Have you got a jar of cum?
Oh my god. Oh, okay. I'm gonna put this in the private chat here, and I'm oh my god. Oh yeah. Remember with the My Little Pony figurine in the jar as well. Yeah, Tony. I remember you did bring this up.
Hang on, now we've got a jar full of cum with a unicorn in it.
Yes.
I'm really lost with this one now, guys.
Yeah, I don't know where this is going.
I mean, if you're really lost, go on 4chan or someplace like that.
I don't know. It's not that I'm lost. I don't want to be fucking found, I don't think.
It's like, oh, just keep me away from this.
So, what you've obviously planned. This is obviously. How did you? Did you like just have a random word generator and it came up with jar cum unicorn? And you just
No, I don't search shit like that.
Hang on a minute. Let's piece this together. Tony's saying it's unicum, not unicorn.
Oh my god! Wow! Tony, why?
What? I don't get it. Why Unicum?
Apparently, they must have had a conversation. I don't know why, but they must have seemingly had a conversation where it come up in an idea that, and pardon the pun, come up in an idea that Taylor would fill jars with his cum and sell them. That's the only thing I can. Yeah, cum in jars. Look up Corey Flockster.
Yeah, all right. I think we're done with this coming in fucking jars.
That's in the chat room, eh? That's what
I've got a fucking arrow waiting for me downstairs. I'm not fucking looking forward to it now.
Oh, Dennis Cole says, what does this have to do with Jimmy Savile and everything? I'm sure that Jimmy Savile made tons of jars with cum in them and little unicorns. Probably shipped them off to Jeffrey Epstein. He's got a link.
You're ace, Taylor.
You're on great thin ice, man. What if we get sued? You can't be saying that somebody's selling jars of cum with unicorns in to someone else on this show and expect that this is all your. This is not. They're not necessarily the views of Raconteurs News.
They're completely my views, and anyone else's. You might happen to agree with it. Is Webby filling a jar? Dennis says.
Oh dear me. Oh dear.
David Stanley says, "What? Well, I've just tuned in, and what the fuck is going on? Oh no, we tuned in this. Oh no,
I filled the promo.
You never know what you're going to get, though, do you? Like the Raconteurs News is like about the chocolates. Never know what you're going to get.
I mean, would you rather get the nosebleeds?
Mate, that sounds like your Lee Garrett impression. That.
Right. Do the dead still fart? Dead people fart. I suppose they do when Jimmy's. Anyway, let's end this. I think that's probably the best thing to do. Is to end this whole fucking debacle. You know, I mean, we've gone fucking right downhill in this last fucking 20 minutes here, and it's mostly down to since you've been on, you know.
I brought in the cum jars.
Yeah, exactly. You fucking, you know.
You know, Jason. Actually, Jason, did you manage to do that research?
What fucking research? I don't do my own research. I'm not doing yours.
No. Remember, you said you're going to look into James Perloff.
Oh, fucking Perloff. Oh, I have a fuck. I've had stuff to do. No, I haven't done no.
You couldn't even come up with a crap excuse.
Yeah, that's such a crap excuse.
Yeah, mate. Your face just went, yeah, I can't be arsed with you lying to you.
I did though. That's it. I didn't, but I will do maybe someday. I might just fucking email him anyway and just say, hey, come on my show. Taylor said you're good.
Do you know what? Hey up, come on my show. That could be next week viral. The Jason Holmes show. Hey up, come on my show. You'd be like the next Alex Belfield.
I could clip that, couldn't I? This is the end of this. I might clip that. Hey, and like have it like as a thing that people have in the show. Remember we used to have them. This is such and such, and we get them to do one. Andy used to do it all the time. Get somebody to do. Hi, this is fucking I don't know, Guy Taylor. You're listening to Raconteurs News, and then we keep that and then use it in between, stuff.
Dave Von Kleist does voiceovers, you know.
Who?
Dave Von Kleist.
I don't want any. I was just like saying that. I can't even fucking remember what we were talking about.
He's actually done that. Do you not remember though? I think it was on the first show he come on.
Yeah. I remember him. Yeah, they did mention it, didn't it? It did this one, didn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. He did your Raconteurs News one then.
Oh yeah, fucking hell. Fucking forgot about that. That's probably somewhere. And I've
It
not
is.
fucking... Did I record it?
Yeah, it's the live show that Dave Von Kleist first come on at, and
Oh, right, okay.
he did an introduction for Raconteurs News. It'll be on that show.
Right. Yeah. Oh, well, I'll have to clip that. Oh, well, if I can be arsed. I can't even do Taylor's research, so I don't know if that's ever going to fucking happen. I was thinking about fucking putting together like some clip shows, and then I thought, well, that's not going to fucking happen. That's far too much work. If anyone wants to fucking listen back, they can listen back, can't they? So, it just can be too much work. I'm just fucking lazy. I've just got lazy. Sitting on your arse all the time, it don't do you any good.
Oh,
What's
here's
happening on the bill anyway?
I don't know. I'm not watching it.
Oh, you finished it?
One of them died last week, didn't
Who?
he? What's it? He played one of DC's a fat Scottish bloke called Duncan Lennox in DC.
I don't remember him.
1 hour ago. Apparently, Fauci's being called out by in Congress.
Yeah.
I doubt that'll actually go anywhere.
He's arguing the same thing. He's arguing the same thing. There's two different senators, Rand Paul and I can't remember the other fella's name from Kentucky, but they're both on at him about this gain of function research. He's claiming that the National Institute of Health didn't finance gain of function research at the Wuhan clan lab. And they're playing on legal terms, they're playing on how it's worded. So technically, Fauci's right. Legally, they haven't, but they haven't. That's how strange we've got. That's how childish we're getting now. There's nothing hidden. That's all it is people being childish now and trying to follow rules that they've written. It's the same as following useless rules that don't make sense, but it's policy. It comes to a point, doesn't it, Jason, where enough's enough, but I don't think people know where that line is yet.
No.
Just like how the whoever they were, the people that took away the evidence from the Twin Towers on 9/11, despite the fact that's a crime to do that.
The Chinese ended up with that.
Oh yeah, it was it was melted. I think even New Jersey, and then shipped off to China for recycle.
Yeah,
it's like everything always seems to go to China.
Probably on a bridge in Wales now.
Probably. Freaking. I'm surprised they never got called out on that. To be honest.
So then, this is fucking useless, is it?
What's that?
The PCR test. They're useless, aren't they?
Yes.
So, what do I do now with that fucker? It's beast.
They definitely offed him. The guy who made the PCR test, they definitely offed him.
Do you have to send that off, Jace? Yeah.
No, I don't have to now. You don't have to do all me, man.
How do you find out if it's positive then?
Oh, you have to send it off if you do it. I'm not doing it.
Right, because the last
you do it, yeah, you send it off, yeah.
Right. So basically, whoever they want, if there was an agenda, and we know there's not, but if there was an agenda, people could just decide who was positive, couldn't they?
Oh yeah, of course they could, yeah.
So people sitting around the table could just say, well, those lot are positive, those aren't, those aren't. Technically, to every man and woman and children now, every child. That's a bit of a dangerous situation to put your faith into, isn't it?
It is. We're in dangerous situations. The world's a dangerous place.
It's
Getting
lucky we can
dangerous
still
and
find
dangerous.
it's lucky we can still find something to laugh about, because it's not, I don't know what to say. When the Germans did this in the 30s, for health passports and vaccinations, when we found out about it and what they did, ooh, that's naughty, that. But here we are. But it's happening everywhere. There's nowhere to go.
No, the only way is up, baby, for you and me. I look a bit like her, don't I? The only way is up, baby, for you and me now. Oh, oh.
Hey, hang on, you might get a strike there from YouTube with that voice.
I probably will, They'll probably strike it from the record.
Did the crowd used to go, Jason, turn that record off and sing?
No, fuck that. No, fucking weren't singing for it. I won't get paid enough to sing.
Here's something from the Washington Post. Tucker Carlson spreads an already debunked claim about COVID-19 deaths. Apparently, Tucker Carlson was saying that most of the people dying from quote unquote dying from COVID already had many underlying conditions and were fatally ill beforehand. Which, I think we can both agree to that.
If you've been, everybody's tested going into hospital now, no matter what you're going in with. And if you've tested positive, that was going down as a COVID death. That's how we found out about the car crash stuff. A family had to get a campaign to have the death certificate changed to the husband father was killed in a car crash, not a COVID death. But he tested positive just in the last 2 weeks before his crash. It's that if they're doing that for one, they're doing it on them all. If they're doing it on them all and it's being broadcasted without being investigated, and all these people are mouthpieces for the people who are doing that, and we're in trouble. And these people operate the systems that we're taught to do the bad things in. So I don't know how else to put it. That's quite simple, that. If you're willing to be humble enough to not think that voting Tory this time will change everything or whatever, be humble and say we need to go back to basics here, because the next generations coming through are going to applaud all this and throw us on the buses, throw us into cattle cars. Somebody posted, I can't remember who it was, who posted Luke 12:53 that father and son will be against each other, mother-daughter, mother-in-laws against daughter, everything's going against each other, family against family, everybody's fighting each other. This is what it is. The duality of this world's got to come crashing down.
Yeah, and it's, I find it amusing how the MSM always likes to put this as a Republican versus Democrat debacle. Like, oh, the Republicans are just trying to make President Biden look bad for the sake of the yada yada yada. This left-right political nonsense. And then you have Trump coming out saying that he's proud of the vaccines and that everyone should thank him for it. And only now are people starting to realize that Trump was never on their side from the very start.
No, for fuck's sake, we shouldn't be about your stupid American politics.
Dinny sorted it out. Double fuck him, he says.
Yeah, double fuck him, yeah. Dinny wants us to talk about Hitler a bit more.
Yeah, let's talk about Hitler.
But Elf Freedom UK has popped in the chat room. Remember Mike Dickin? I certainly do remember Mike Dickin. What a fucking legend he were. He used to fucking have shows. Imagine this: he were having shows on fucking Talk Sport about fucking how fucking government, royal family had Princess Diana fucking murdered on fucking Talk Sport primetime radio.
Brilliant.
Really?
Yeah, fucking were. He ended up dying in a road accident.
Of course, of course.
And the guy were a fucking rally driver in his younger days, so it weren't like he couldn't fucking drive.
Of course, the convenience. Oh, he was an accident.
But he wouldn't shut up. Yeah, I remember Mike Dickey. What a fucking legend. People would ring up and they go, "Are you all right, Mike?" And he'd say, "My health is not in question, but yours will be if you don't get on with it."
Is it like George Carlin?
No, not like George Carlin. Not fatter.
Oh, yeah.
Then you had okay, so do you remember Ted Kennedy?
Yeah. Yeah.
There are people saying now that the reason why he died from cell phone radiation, from Wi-Fi radiation.
Really?
Yeah, because he always, you know how he always had his phone next to his ear.
Right? What's this got to do with you?
It was just something that I learned about recently. And,
right, Ted Kennedy. Okay, they were all bad ones, Kennedys.
Yeah, the one who died in like 2009, the one that didn't get assassinated.
Yeah, I know Ted. Yeah, Ted, right, dirty old bastard.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I think they've all been playing. They're all playing the same game, Jace. It's just
they are.
some are worse than the others, and some want a worse future, whatever you want to call it, than others. You know, you get people who think, "Well, I was expecting an alien invasion," and some people say, "Well, I wanted a zombie invasion." We don't know yet. We've not got to that final act, but it's coming.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. And I'm going to tell you to go to all the usual places. Cookie show on Monday on Odyssey. I think it starts at 8:00. Reality chat is on Wednesday. That's on YouTube. That's got Cookie and some Peter. I fucking really should find out who these people are. Find
Peter Griffin?
the fucking names. But you know me, fucking can't do my research on fuck all.
Peter Griffin.
Lazy bastard.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe Peter Griffin. Not fucking Peter Griffin, you fucking bellend. Fucking ask you anyway, fucking Peter Griffin Jr.
It took you a second to figure that one out.
And Steve Turgoose, who I believe is on a Saturday or a Thursday or something, Thursday or Saturday. But anyway, just keep skipping around us. I'll be back Friday night. I'll be back on Friday, I think, at night. I might not be. I might be. No, I don't know.
Just one quickie, Jace.
Go on, then.
Who I was talking to last night was a guy called Lawrence Easman. He was the guy who, back in 2012, there's a video on YouTube called The People versus the Banks. And he was down in Potter's Bar where he stopped bailiffs gaining control of this house. It's only about an half an hour video, but it went on for hours as they do those things. And it's on there, and was like, it went quite viral for him because it's the first time that the police had attended and did the job. And from that, he got involved with, well, he was rubbing shoulders with like the likes of Russell Brand and things like that at this point, but he come under horrendous attacks from the mainstream media. And, you disappear, but he's come back on doing a podcast. He's just interviewed a guy that goes by the name of Daddy Dragon, who's a constitutional law fella. And, there's some interesting information. He reached out to me through somebody else to come on the show. So anybody who wants to check Lozzy's work out, if you look at that video, The People versus the Banks and Lawrence Easman, he's done some stuff, been in the court systems. He's it's some good information. So it was interesting in getting back in touch. So at some point there'll be a date where I'll be interviewing him.
Excellent. Yeah, so I'll check him out as well. So anyway, cheers,
mate. You lazy bastard.
I fucking will though, because I'll definitely look. It's you, it's coming from you, isn't it? So I always look when it's you. And it's not against you, Taylor. It's just that you're that far away from me, so you can't really fucking do it. You know what I mean?
I can't
Hey,
get
he's connected. He can get out of his house now. He's been at the shop, mate.
Excellent, excellent. Well, you'll keep at it. And cheers anyway, Yoni, for coming on as always.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me on.
Cheers, sir.
Okay. Keep it alternative, proper alternative, not fucking